Okay, got to go back and see the doc on Thursday. Actually going to do all my medical stuff this week because I've got to go over there on Friday. But the good news in a way is that the GP found there was a lot of wax in my ear and some of it's very hard. And he's told me to get some solution from the chemist to actually some ear drops to help loosen it so he can clear it out even further. It's a little better than what it was before he did it, but still got a bit of a blockage there, but it is an improvement, so I'm pretty happy about that, because anything's better than having a degradation in your hearing due to old age or whatever. It's just wax. I can live with that. That's good, especially considering I'm going to be travelling overseas fairly soon. So it's pretty good news, really. It took him a while to try to clear it too. He had to use a suction nozzle into my left ear, and I think he was having a go at it for about 10 to 15 minutes, so I felt a bit guilty just getting a normal consultation. I never thought it'd be that involved. I had to go sit in the surgery next door. So looks like I'll get a solution to that hearing loss, which is good, you know. Got to have your senses. This sight, and well, I've got crappy sight, and I appreciate any sight I've got. And losing an ear, I mean, I tell you what, it makes a big difference to your hearing. In my case, it does. So I've still got a bit of a ringing in that sound, and definitely not good yet. But we'll see how it goes after we apply this softening substance, these ear drops. Yeah, you tried using water to soften it up, but that wasn't any good. You check out my right ear, and it says clean as a whistle, no problem. There's something about my left ear that's just accumulated a lot of wax into the flesh, I think he said, so it's really difficult to get out. Well, I got the stuff for the ears, but it was a bit of a task because I had to get a little bottle of peroxide as well as the actual earwax softener. That's what my GP recommended, and apparently it's an acid. So there's two types of peroxide. There was a 3% and a 6%, so I went with the 3%. Don't want to go overboard, but yeah, I'll put a little bit of that on, 1 or 2 drops when I'm putting in the actual cleaning solution. So see how we go. Hopefully it won't do any damage, but I do want this damn thing cleared out. It's not good, so we'll see how it goes. Also bought myself a bottle of sparkling wine special for the princely sum of $12, so that'll make my cousin happy. She was the one who recommended it. Henkel. It's actually not bad for its price. I mean, it's normally about 17, so it's quite a good discount at the moment. Okay, back to working out plans for my trip. It's a real logistical nightmare. One thing I did just discover was that there is a decent currency exchange place. It's one thing I forgot to look up, and they're just outside the airport, which is good because that also gives me an opportunity to maybe see if I can get a grab taxi down to the jetty, or the pier, if I can get Wi-Fi somewhere. There's a family mart. I don't think if they have Wi-Fi, but there might be a store there or a little cafe. There's a few shops there, and there might be someone that has Wi-Fi and can do it for me. Well, the other option is someone might be able to book it on my behalf. I've just got to pay for the fare, but I don't know if they're happy doing that, but they might be. That happened in Vietnam. I got someone to use their grab there, and they enabled me to pay cash for a trip to Hoi An, so that worked out well. So I don't see why I can't do the same thing in Thailand if the shop owner's happy to do it. Well, I don't know. It's a bit different. That was actually the hotel I was staying at, so a bit more of a relationship being formed. So, but anyway, I'll see. Warm one again. Insulation's going to come in handy. I actually had the overhead fan on last night. I woke up about 2 AM very hot and sweaty. Didn't sleep very well. I've been sleeping slept really well for the first week back here, and then since then it hasn't been so good. I just had my second session with the GP to remove wax from my left ear. It's been building up for years apparently, and I've been taking ear drops for the last 2 days, but which has helped a bit. He says he's got about 50% of the wax out, but there's still some persistent wax that's attached to the skin, and going to need some more ear drops in there to basically loosen it all up, so I can hopefully remove the rest of it on Monday morning. So I didn't expect it to be this difficult, but like I say, it's been something that's been building up for years, but I wasn't even aware of that until a few weeks ago when my ears started to pop, and then eventually I just lost my hearing in that ear. I think it's a little better after the treatment he just gave me. Of course, he said he didn't want to go any further today because he might cause injury to the eardrum, and that's something you want to avoid, obviously, because it takes a long time to heal. So I prefer him to be cautious. Luckily, I've got plenty of time till I leave on my next trip, at least another 3 weeks. So luckily this has been detected now. I wish I'd actually gone and seen him a day or two after I got back, but I didn't realise how bad the wax build-up had been. But it's not something that's going to right itself. I definitely need medical intervention. So there you go. So fingers crossed it all sorts itself out. And I got my insulation done today, so now my roof is insulated with R4 fiberglass insulation. It took about an hour or so to do, and so it didn't take too long. It hurts the wallet a bit, but I can already detect an improvement in the temperature inside. So apparently it won't come to full fruition until tomorrow. It needs to go through a cycle of cooling, because it's like a sponge apparently, this material. It'll cool down, shed off at night, and tomorrow it'll soak up all the heat more efficiently. Needs to be in the roof for 24 hours or something for full effectiveness. I'm not quite sure what the physics is behind that, but that's what the Terry who installed the stuff said. So anyway, it's all done, and that's my major job out of the way before I get back here, and then I've got a whole lot of ideas to get the flat into shape, and I might even make it rental ready, but I won't do that until I return from my next trip. So sorry about the wind, it's just constant up here. It is so windy in Cairns, it's just crazy. Right, Saturday. Still trying to get this unclogged ear of mine, getting its ear unclogged, the left ear. I think I made a little bit of progress today. I've got to keep putting this these ear drops in, about 10 of them, twice a day. And I think it did a bit of good earlier today. I think my hearing's improved a little bit. Also, I think the insulation which I got installed, was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. I've had a couple of days to check it out now. I think it's making a difference. It's an improvement. I've also, I feel bad about this, but I actually cancelled a booking I had for one night on Phuket Island. The main reason was it's in the middle of nowhere, and there's nowhere to shop, and it's not easy to get to the airport from it. So I changed to Phuket town, and the advantage there is that this place that I picked in Phuket town is not far from where the ferry is. I picked the wrong place too. I thought the ferry would be in a different location, but this is actually the main ferry terminal, and it's just down the road from Phuket town, so it's much more convenient. And once I'm in Phuket town, I can get a public bus to the airport for a song, basically a hell of a lot cheaper than any other way. So it's just logistically so much better. So I'm glad I made that change, and because it's booking.com, I was able to cancel without penalty, and just change it to this other location. Logistics are a real nightmare over in Phuket, because transfers are expensive. Anything to do with water, you've got to be very careful, because it can get quite pricey when you've got to get a ferry across, or a speedboat or whatever. So you just got to really mix and match to save your money, because you can burn it off really quickly. The taxis are pretty pricey, and there's no guarantee you'll be able to get a grab driver because there's not that many of them apparently. What they actually did was they increased the amount that they charged as a flagpole to 150 baht. So that's 150 baht going on the current rates is something like $7 to $8. So it's quite a flagfall, and it's not cheap travelling around that part of Thailand. Thailand itself is just getting more expensive. The Australian dollar is quite weak against the baht. It's below 21. When I was there last, it was about 25 baht to the Australian dollar. So you can see it's gone down quite a bit. So I'm only going to be there for a couple of weeks, and it does have the positive effect of making me appreciate the good value in Vietnam. I've got myself a duffel bag, so now I can actually carry my my tripod around to locations without worrying about slipping out of my my backpack. It's just too long for that. It sort of sticks out the top, and it's unstable. But the only downside is that there's no backpack sort of straps for this particular duffel bag, so I'd have to carry it around, which is a bit of a drag, but at least it'll do the job. So that's good. Other thing I did too was I extended the my Airbnb stay at this place in Saigon. It's the only Airbnb booking I've got now. I think it's about 59 days, so it's quite a long booking. But I got the 40% discount on the balance of the trip, and so it saved me at least $100 to $200 in booking fees. So I'm only paying slightly over 220 bucks a night for quite a nice room by the looks of things. I know it's a new building. It's I can tell from Street View that for a Google Street View, it was only built a few years back, because they've actually still got pictures of it in construction where they've just got the frame of the actual building, the skeleton, before it's actually been fitted out. And so you've got two sets of photos. It's weird, like you look, one set of photos is obviously taken a lot later and has the completed building, but the other one has it in its skeletal form. So I can see so it looks reasonably solid. It's not the nicest looking building from the outside, but the rooms are okay. And it has got an elevator, and it does have public areas. The downside too is apparently parties are allowed, but I looked up reviews and I haven't found anyone complaining about noise there. And also they allow smoking, which is another negative, but hopefully not many people will take up that privilege, and probably I won't be using the communal areas that much, especially for cooking, because I mean it's Vietnam, for God's sake. It's so cheap to buy food. The only thing I'd probably be wanting to make would be something like a salad, but I've still got to find the right greens for it, so that could be a bit of a challenge. I don't know if I'm going to have much luck at the co-op, and it's probably not the best place to buy it. There is actually a really good fresh food market down the road in District 3. It's actually an interesting area too. I've actually stayed pretty close to where it is, so I know the area pretty well, but I don't know whether yeah, there's plenty of food outlets around there, and it's a good part of town. It's a bit of a walk to the bars, not insurmountable, it's okay, but I sort of don't mind that. I mean, what I'd probably do is walk to the bars and maybe get a grab motorbike back. It would be a very short run. It's a very short trip. It'll only be like a 5-10 minute bike ride back to where I'm staying, so it's much closer than District 7, so wouldn't be a major issue. It would cost bugger all, so it'll save me a lot of money. And I like walking to the bars because you get a bit of exercise doing it, get a bit thirsty, a bit hot and bothered, and the beer goes down even better. So I think there's a logic to it, and it's quite a nice walk. You walk down the park. I think it's called the 23-9 Park, and it's not a long walk. You have to walk via Ben Thun Market, which is probably the only hassle involved there. But apart from that, it's quite nice. I don't have to go that way. I could take another route too. There's a couple of options I've got there. So see how it goes. But yeah, it'd be nice to be closer to the centre of action again. So I'm a bit worried about extending for such a long time, but with one place, because if I don't like it, I'm committed there for almost 60 days. It's a long time. But I haven't had any, there hasn't been any negative reviews. Oh, the only negative comments were about the aircon, saying it's a bit weak. But if it really gets bad, I'll buy myself a fan. You know, I have had bad experiences with Airbnb in the past, but the beauty of this one is that all the other places like booking.com also have it listed, so I can compare. And so far so good. So I don't have to just rely on the crappy reviews from Airbnb. I can use the real ones from booking.com and Agoda and other places like that. So that's good. It gives me that gives me much greater peace of mind. But I mean, 40% discount on a month or long stay is a really good discount. So she's really doing the right thing by me. Yeah, it's well serviced, and actually it's not that far at all from Beauvienne. It's only a few blocks away, so that makes that another option as well. So it's in a pretty good spot, really. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.